On the line now from Zambia for the update from that country is Tapiwa Msusa, who is financial analyst at Stockbrokers Zambia. Good morning to you, Tapiwa. Overall stock market performance for Zambia. I haven't spoken to you for a while, so let's give us the big picture.
Of course. Thanks for having me on the program. The performance in Zambia is relatively upbeat. The LUSA itself has shown 15% growth year to date. So far, of course, in dollar terms, that hasn't been so good looking. I mean, we've been looking at a growth at 1.88%. Of course, we had a downturn there on the quarter over the first quarter, but of course, things should be looking good going forward.
And looking at recent corporate actions, the CSC rights issue, the mandatory offer, the Madison Financial Services IPO.
Yes, let me start with the CEC mandatory offer that I think closed on the 30th of May. The mandatory offer was as a result of a restructuring in ZECI, which is Zambia Energy Corporation International, which is the indirect owner or shareholder in CEC. Now, because of restructuring, they had to buy back the shares from the minority shareholders in CEC. Well, that resulted in about, I think, 0.73%, just close to about 1% of those shares being sold back to CEC, which relatively shows us that more shareholders are willing to hold the CEC share. It's quite a popular share considering their recent corporate actions. I mean, last year where they had to acquire the Abuja Energy Distribution Corporation, and they're showing quite some growth in that regard and good prospects. With the Madison IPO, we have just closed that IPO, and all indications are, of course, we are in the preliminary stages of preparing the results, but all indications are that IPO is fully subscribed. Of course, at the beginning, slightly sluggish, but of course, towards the end, the response was quite overwhelming. So I guess coming from our last IPO, which was in 2008, some of that doubt or skepticism as a result of that financial downturn, it still lingers in the minds of most investors.
Well, we'll have to end it there. Thanks to Tapiwa Msusa, who is financial analyst at Stockbrokers Zambia.